favorite beverage and snacks, grab a seat, and delve into the known and the unknown. We have shows every other Monday and every other Monday. Let me explain. One Monday, Joni and I discuss the current astrology, how it affects us both on personal, countrywide, and global scales, and then how to navigate through it all to improve our overall quality of life. The next Monday, Jan and Renee join me as we discuss, well, everything. This includes the paranormal, cryptids, psychic abilities, hauntings, attachment, possessions, aliens, abductions, self-help, life coaching, mental health, personal health, and the list goes on. Thank you in advance for joining us. Now, it's time to sit back and enjoy. Hi.
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 Was that any better?
Yeah.
I liked it.
Thank you. I finally did it. Welcome everybody to another awesome edition of the Otter's Den. Hey Chris, how you doing? Thank you for joining us. We love life. We love our jobs. We love our families, sometimes from a distance. Hey Adrian, how you doing?
You know, I just got one of mine back, so.
Yes, you did. I bet he's happy to be home.
Yes, and I'm happy to have him home. That's the longest he's ever been away from home, and he's never leaving again.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Right? Yeah, I think Abby will have something to do with that.
Well, that could be. I
She'll.
bet she can be pretty persuasive.
Well, we had tears. We had tears. We were shaking. We were hyperventilating.
Oh no.
Yeah, she was so happy. I thought she was going to pass right out. She had her bags packed and she went to bed without arguing, and she went to bed before 10 o'clock.
Nice.
That's impressive.
Hey, Michelle. Hey, Lisa. The almighty sound effects lady. That's all I'm saying about that. And look, I did it. We are live on Rumble.
Woohoo!
Comments are coming through. Yes.
So we got a pretty good show tonight.
I believe we do. And it might strike up a lot of controversy with a lot of people. And that's okay.
And yeah, that's okay, because sometimes you need to look at yourself in the mirror. If you think that it's hitting you in any way, we're not giving names, we're not giving people identities or anything. So, but if it's hitting, what we always say, you must have to go take a look at it.
Mm-hmm.
So we definitely have a lot of changes.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of changes. Hey, Scott. That's my man.
Hey,
Not literally my man, but yeah.
So.
Yeah. Smith Scott. No, I think that, you know, the changes that we are making are definitely going to open the horizon.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, we're not going to be restricted.
That's a good way to put it.
Because Lord knows my mouth.
You have a mouth? No.
No.
Never thought that.
I had one of our watchers, you know, they hit me up after the show, and I started in just me. I am me on the show. I am me no matter where I go. But I try to be more reserved.
Mm.
Yeah.
Professional.
Right. Professional. And then, yeah, they got a load of my mouth, and they're like, ooh, I like you a lot. I'm like, yeah. when I am, when I know it's not going to be recorded and up there forever, you know, it's one of those.
Yep.
Hear that.
I mean, a bit of advice from someone that we all know. I mean, if you can't be yourself behind closed doors out, right? Because that person that you're behind closed doors should be the person that's out front.
Yeah. We shouldn't have to put a mask on in order to go into public.
I don't have any obligations to be anybody else other than me.
There you go.
Yep.
I am me. I am me. And when I had the radio show, that was one of the things, people would meet me in real life and they go, "Oh man, you are who you are," in real. Yeah. 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 What you see is what you get. I ain't hiding nothing.
That I do my best to practice the pause. Both in person, online, on the show, on Facebook, on whatever platform. But there's that's all, folks. There's a time when I'm going to open up my throat chakra. My words are going to come out. Some people don't like my words, and that's okay. But you got to ask yourself why you don't like my words.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving you my truth.
Yep.
I'm not lying to anybody. I will not lie to anybody. If I can't honestly answer a question, like if I don't know something, I will tell them, "Hey, I don't know that answer. I will research it, but I don't know it."
Yeah.
And say when I get with somebody in the future, if they want to know why I got home a half hour late, and it's their birthday in a couple of days, I'm just going to say, I cannot answer that question today, but I will be able to answer that question in 2 days. And then it's going to have to wait.
Yeah.
I just posted, I reshared this post because I think it's just absolutely funny. There's a misconception that says spiritual people are always nice. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is get your throat chakra aligned. Throat chakra in alignment by telling people to get out of their crown chakra, get their crown chakra out of their root chakra.
Yes.
Because, and then my adding to this is because if you don't, you might punch them in the throat chakra and take their crown chakra and shove it up the root chakra.
I love that.
Karate chop right there.
Yep.
Hey.
It's just, yeah.
You know what? And sometimes you have to stick somebody's crown up their root just so that they'll shut up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so.
Even family.
Yep.
Family can be toxic. Whether it be your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, aunt, uncle, grandparents, doesn't matter.
Your own child.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and it's also genetic. I don't care what anybody says. It follows your family line. It's in your blood. It's in your DNA. It's like printed upon you. It is.
That, and it's how you're raised too. You're raised in that toxicity. That's what you're used to. That's what you think normal is. And then you get out on your own and eventually you learn about life and you heal. Yep. You learn how to be a better person. And then you realize, hey, now I see where all that came from. Mm-hmm. I don't need that in my life anymore. And you got to set what? Needed boundaries. Mm-hmm. They have expected obligations for you to carry out, but you need to set boundaries where they're needed for your health and safety.
I have a saying that's being voluntold.
Yes.
Like Renee, when we did the drunken oracle, I'm like, "Hey, Renee, I'm voluntelling you. You should probably do this."
Yep.
But go ahead.
No, go.
I don't usually volunteer people. I will heavily suggest, but I will not volunteer anybody to do anything. And having a big family and a lot of kids, they had their obligations, they had their duties, that they had to do in order for that family to run and function. But I never tried to make it to where they felt uncomfortable doing something.
Right.
If my children didn't feel comfortable with somebody, I took that into heavy consideration, and I didn't make them feel like they had to deal with that person.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't make them feel like they had to go somewhere. And I live my life like that. Like I speak about my mother quite frequently. You know, she was the perfect example of a voluntold. I'm going to voluntold tell you what to do. And kind of like me baking pies for the bar. She never asked me to do any of this. She expected me to do it. And at some point I walked away and said, you know what? I'm done. I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
I'll make Mr. Louis his pie because I like him, but I ain't making anybody else pie. Like, that's it. That's it. And he don't have to pay for it because he's 90 years old. He's cute and I love him.
Yeah.
You know, just.
Yeah. It's kind of like my last job. You know, I was expected to be there no matter what. Didn't matter if I was sick. Didn't matter if my back was out, my neck was out. Didn't matter if I have 3 weeks of paid vacation time. I had to be at work. I lost so much money by not taking my vacation time. It was crazy. I had to use my vacation days in order to take a sick day because I had to go to the chiropractor. I couldn't get out of bed. And I eventually, 25 years later, set boundaries and said, you know what? It's not good for me here anymore. See ya. I didn't have another job. I just said, you know what? I'm done.
Yeah.
Spirit had been pushing me to get out of that for a long time. And I woke up one day and I said, okay, let's see how good this can get. I don't know what I'm going to do, but here it is. Click. And I wish I had a receiver. Boom.
Yep.
Just saying. Old school.
Yeah. And that's the one. Good. I'm sure it did. After that, after all the BS and all the other shit. Well, then again, hello, we have a ticker, so we can say shit. And we're like 12 minutes in, so whatever.
Yep.
The thing with boundaries that a lot of people forget to do is that you have to remember, like it's basically like, here is my line in the sand. Here's the problem. A lot of people take their foot and then erase the line and then readjust it for that other person. You cannot. You have to stand strong in your convictions, and what you say is what you say is what you say, and what you do is what you do. You do not bend, bow, a knee to anyone other than who you know, if God, Shiva, whoever it is, whatever entity, spirit, whatever. If that's what you choose to do, that's who you should be giving your reverence to.
Yes.
Right. Not somebody else. So, you know, that's the thing.
And that's something.
Right.
I agree with that because, you know, with going through catechism and everything and teaching my kids and whatnot, you know, that there are lines in the Bible that you just don't cross. You can't mismatch or
make up your own and
take
two verses, put them. I love this one. Take two verses that mean totally two opposite things to make it something that to fit your own. When you actually read them separately, doesn't make any sense. Why did you put those two together?
Right.
Yeah, that's not. We'll say God made. That's man made.
Yep.
You know, that's okay. I'll tell people that. Oh, that's your man-made. That's your man-made faith. That's your man-made religion. That's nice. That's not what I follow. That's not what I believe. This is what the Bible says in the XYZ. And I think that I apply that in my life as well with boundaries. Right? With boundaries, I apply this is my set of rules and nobody's going to cross them.
Yeah.
You know, I have allowed and I've been wishy-washy and been like, well, you know what? Oh, that's okay. And then they're like, oh, I was able to do XYZ. So I'm going to push her a little bit further.
Yep.
I'm going to push her a little bit more. And then what am I doing? I'm bending over backwards, breaking my back to please somebody or to be something I'm not.
Yep.
And I've completely taken the sand even out of the picture. You know, I don't agree with that. I don't. And you know, my grandmother always said, you know, you can draw your line in the sand, but remember the ocean waves will come and wash it away. So if you want that to be permanent, you put it in rock. You scrape that line in the rock, and that's your line, and you just don't cross it. And it took me a while to grow that backbone in order to do it, but I'm not going to sacrifice myself for somebody else.
No.
Shouldn't have to.
Why are you going to sacrifice your, like, this is another thing I always say. My boundary is my way of keeping my comfort. So why am I going to make my comfort for you too? Because my comfort may not agree with how you feel. So therefore, I mean, you can try and pull up. I'm not saying, hey, don't come up and pull a chair and sit on, or sit on the swing on the porch with me. You can, but what I'm gonna say is, I'm comfortable where I'm at, and if you can't jive with what I got and what I'm trying to do for myself to keep myself safe, healthy, and mentally okay, that means you're not meant to share that porch. Or like how I always say to everybody, I still want you to eat. You just cannot eat at my table. Doesn't mean you can't sit at the table next to me and still be like, hey, how you doing? Common person. But I just don't want you eating my meal with me.
Yeah, there's past team members that are no longer team members. Do I want them to succeed? Yes, I do. Just not here.
Yep.
My exes, do I want them to succeed? Yes, every one of them. Mm-hmm. I want them to learn about themselves. I want them to grow themselves, their families. I want them to succeed in their job. I want them to find happiness and find themselves. Just not here.
Mm-hmm. I will love you where you are at, but that doesn't mean that I have to meet you where you're at, because I'm not going to meet you where you're at if it's crossing my boundary lines.
Yeah.
And another thing with that is don't apologize for it either. Don't apologize for somebody else's mistakes for crossing boundaries, because then you take the responsibility on yourself.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know. I'm not going to apologize for my boundaries either.
Yeah. I was just going to say that. Don't apologize for setting your boundaries, and don't apologize for things that you didn't do.
Mm-hmm. And if that makes you the black sheep, so what? It's really cool to be a black sheep. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Right now.
Black.
Well, and it's like that with your relationship with your partner, right? I mean, obviously you have, and I always describe it as okay, we can work through it. Mm-hmm. But then there's this hard line. And one of mine is no strip club. I catch you at a strip club, it's over with. It's done. There is no negotiation. There is no nothing. We're done. We're not going to discuss it. We're not going to talk about it. I can handle cheating better than I can handle that for some reason mentally. I don't know what it is. But then again, don't do it more than once either.
Yeah.
So yeah. I make my lines very clear in my relationships, and I think I make my lines now as I've gotten older, very clear in my friendships as well.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that my faith is the biggest one. I have people in my life that obviously, that are not Catholic and everything else, but don't degrade me because of my faith.
Right.
If you degrade me because of my faith and what I believe and how I believe in it, we're done. We're not talking.
Right.
Ever again. There's the door. See you.
You can discuss the differences in faiths without putting the other person down, without putting your beliefs down.
Right. So, my faith is a hard boundary line. And don't waste my time.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of time. Don't waste my time.
Yep. Right.
I don't like wasting oxygen. I don't know how else to put it. If we're working through something, we're working through something. And if I tell you something, I'm telling you either A, from experience, or B, I'm going to give you the hard reality of something, right?
Right.
And don't tell me I'm wrong, because I'm not going to say it if I'm wrong. And if I end up being wrong in a situation, I will apologize. But I'm going to go off of the 99%. And so my boundaries are very. I have hard set boundaries. And obligations don't. The only thing I'm obligated to do every morning is to wake up, breathe, say my prayers, and take care of my kids and my significant other. Anything other than that, I'm not obligated to do.
Mm-hmm. Plain and simple.
Keith?
I know it's like Keith wants to say something.
No, actually, I'm sending a message just real quick.
Oh.
Yeah, I just, my obligation is my family. And I choose my obligations. I'm not going to be told what my obligations are going to be.
Yeah.
And if it runs head first into me, I'm sure Renee, you'll get it, and so will Keith. Our politics, religion, and family, right? Those are our set things.
Yeah, and a lot of times the three of those don't get along.
Yep.
Right. So I keep my mouth shut. I'm not going to push, what I believe onto anybody else. So please don't push what you believe onto me. And, in the past, we'll say year, I've kept my mouth shut. I've bit my tongue because I don't agree with a lot of things that have gone on with this past year. And I think the two of you as well. And I couldn't do it any longer. I couldn't, I had to do something, or I was going to say something, and I was not going to be received well. And I don't care if I'm going to be received well. I don't care what people think of me, but there was boundaries and lines that were crossed, and obligations that were unnecessary.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. With strings attached.
Yeah.
It seemed like. So, strings attached to have favor. Also, too, because I noticed a lot of things and was like, "Hey, like, you see, what's up? What's up? Like, why have things changed?"
And Keith, you're right. It's cutting the string, right? It's cutting the strings. And if I'm not going to fit into your box, then don't ask me to, jump into your box.
Mm-hmm.
I was waiting for it. I'm not a square peg. I might be a triangle, but I'm not a square peg, Hang
on. Come on, buddy. You want in? Come on.
And it's sad when boundaries are told, and then it's like
not accepted and not understood.
And it's like poke, 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 and and it's still poke, 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 and then it's like, why did you feel like, and something that happened to me that I realized that a while ago that I never really realized until as of late, like, why do you need to go on and talk for me?
Yeah.
And say, I can fight my own, like, I'm a big girl. I can fight my own battles. That's kind of like the thing that's me. Like the spirit mechanics like to call me the $8,000 girl for a reason.
Yeah, it's a very good reason.
And I can with as much as I defend people that I love wholeheartedly, will give my sword, my shield, and would probably my last breath to. I can easily turn that sword and shield onto you if need be. So don't push.
Mm-hmm. And we do have some tricks up our sleeves, just saying, even though I don't have sleeves right now. But yeah.
You
I
have
got my
meta-
grandma bingo games out.
They're called metaphysical sleeves.
There you go. Heck
You
yeah,
have metaphysical sleeves, see?
I do.
I have my chainmail on, at all times.
The metaphysical chainmail, absolutely.
And that's the poking is what I can't stand. And like I said, the voluntold.
Mm-hmm.
The expectations. If you can't hold yourself to those expectations, then why are you going to hold me to them?
Yeah.
Why are you going to hold other people to them? And that's a boundary. That's a boundary for me. I don't expect people to have my same morals and my same values.
People would be.
I don't.
If we all had the same morals and values, think about how fucking boring everybody would be.
Right.
Right.
How boring. I mean, like, honestly, like, we'd all be lobotomized. Like, we'd all be like, exactly.
We'd be cookie cutter.
Yeah, that too.
And I can't stand cookie cutter. Like, I really can't. Yeah. But don't question my morals. Don't question my values. And don't ask me to do something that's against them.
Yeah. And we don't have to explain why we set a boundary.
No.
We have the option to.
Yeah.
But we don't have to. If we're just walking away from somebody, we don't have to tell them why. If we have told them why over and over and over, hey, you're doing this, it bothers me, I'd rather you not do that.
Mm-hmm.
And they just keep poking. Okay, you know what? I'm done.
It's come down to, like, even with, I always tell everybody, it's also too, it's like, just like this, the actual seasons change, you change, you know what I mean? You are a new person every 3 years.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, you are a new person, because if you're not changing and evolving and trying to be better, then what the fuck are you doing here? I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like, what are you?
Don't apologize, because you're right.
You know what I mean? And that's where it bothers me, because it's like certain people lately have been like, wow, what's going on that you've changed? And I'm like, what are you talking about?
We're supposed to.
And I'm like, things happen, physically, and things also happen metaphysically.
Yes.
And people on the other side also, ancestors, like we all know, I'm really big on this, ancestors and descendants and all these people, that your army that you may know, you may not know, spirit guides, anything, animals, totems, spirit themselves, okay, entities, whatever. They know which way you're supposed to go, and they kind of guide you, not kicking and screaming. Some people it is that way, until they realize that they're like, hey, oh, you're here to help me? Oh, yes, I accept your help. So then the walk isn't so much pushing down the gravel road. It's like you can kind of walk at your own pace and do your thing.
Yeah.
So it's important to listen to that too when you're also putting your boundaries up, because you could say, well, I really don't like it when this person does, or I see people that, I don't know, they pick on short-headed red people, right? And your mother or your father or your like that's and that's a boundary. People are going to cross that, and you have to understand that as yourself. But also too, if you say, I don't know, maybe that's a really stupid one for me to put up, and spirit tells you, why do you think that's stupid? There's another reason why. I just haven't divulged that reason why yet. And then you put that boundary up, going, hey, I'm going to defend this person with everything. And then it's like 6 months down the road comes down, and it's like, oh, this is the reason why, because this look at this is what's doing this to my friends.
Yeah. I have defended people that I eventually had to walk away from.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and with the growing, we are expected to grow. We stop growing, we stop learning, we die.
Yeah.
Like we really do. And please don't judge me for who I was 14 years ago, 2 years ago, a year ago, because I am growing and I am changing and I am making strides, right? And those people that can't accept that, and those people that can't, and that's a boundary for me. If you can't accept who I'm growing into being, I don't need you, and I'm just going to let you go. I'm not going to carry that baggage.
Right.
I'm not. And if you're going to judge me for something I did 20, that's another thing. I'm going to bring up my mother again. My mother will bring up something that I did when I was 10 years old. And I'm like, I was 10. Yep. Like, no, I'm not that person anymore.
Yeah.
I don't even.
Or your significant other.
Yeah.
Bringing up something from 2 years ago that you've already worked through. Well, you did this day, this year, whatever. I'm like, yeah, I did. Mm-hmm. We've worked through that. Why are you throwing that in my face today? Because you don't have anything else to be pissed off about, but you're pissed off and you want to take it out on somebody, and I'm here. So let's figure out why. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't work with them because they're still where they were and you're up here now. And so you can't have a conversation. They want to win the argument while you're trying to have a conversation to calm things down, bring things into the present. Okay, yeah, I was 5 minutes getting home late. Somebody stopped me in the bacon aisle of the store and asked me a question about their car. Well, who? How long did it take? Blah, 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 answer that question. Blah, blah, blah. Well, it took about 5 minutes to answer that question. It was so-and-so, and this is what their car is. And if you want, I can call them right now and let you talk to them.
The only time I ever bring up something from the past is to use it as an example.
Mm-hmm. Same.
That's it. Like I will bring up my past. I will use it as an example because that's what it's there for. But I'm not going to turn around and have my rear view mirrors up and consistently looking in them.
Right.
Because the rear mirrors are supposed to be kept in the back. You're not supposed to be looking all the time. That's why the windshield is bigger than the rear view mirror.
Yep. And objects may appear closer in the rear view mirror, right? So if they appear closer, then you're not letting go of them. You're not drifting away from them. You're not moving away. They're always on your ass end, right? Yep. So I don't know, like, and that's a boundary and that's a line. That there's another one for me, pattern cycles and prove a point. You know what? If you realize that there's a pattern and that there's a cycle, then you need to break it. If you don't like that pattern and you don't like that cycle, you need to break it. You need to draw that boundary line and say, I'm not doing this again. Mm-hmm. I'm not. And as you find yourself drifting towards that boundary line, before you get to it fully, you just need to pull yourself back and be like, nope, you know what? This is going to cross boundaries. And I'm not saying I'm going on 3 times going to be married. I can tell you similarities between all 3 of them. I have a type. Okay. The type just got down to, the best one, right?
Well, the shit just had to be weeded out. That's all.
There you go.
You just had to weed out the shit until you found what you really wanted. That's
you all. Had to learn.
Mm-hmm. I had to learn. I had to grow.
Part of boundaries is learning. And another thing that I like to say is when you put those boundaries up and you keep those boundaries, you actually get to fucking heal the broken parts that you needed to heal. Because usually that boundary that you're putting up is because you're fed up, you're tired, and you're sick of the same old shit. So therefore, what's the only thing to do? Repair it. Don't fix it. Because if you fix it, you're going to drop your boundary and it's going to happen all over again.
Fix is temporary. Repair is permanent.
And I can say in the relationships, the relationship between, my first husband to Jesse, and I have healed and I have repaired and I have looked And I honestly believe that my relationship with my ex-husband has gotten better since I've been with Jesse.
Yep.
You know, I just, I don't know, as crazy as that sounds, I enjoy talking. Not that I not ever didn't enjoy, because we always had a good working relationship even after we got divorced. He'd be the first person I'd call with anything. It's weird, I don't know, but my relationship has definitely been repaired with him. Our friendship is more grounded. It's solid, which is better for our family life, because you know what? Even though we're not together, we still have that foundation, right? And there's family boundaries that we have. Like we've laid down that XYZ is not going to happen. If XYZ happens, him and I are standing together, and Jesse's right beside us going, no, this is not going to happen this way.
Right.
You know, and build your foundation, and then find people who will help you stabilize that foundation and build upon it. You know, find those people that aren't going to cross those boundaries, and have your warrior team with you to go into battle.
Thank you too for helping me to stabilize my foundation.
You're welcome. Anytime.
You know, and here's the other thing too. When you have that boundary, and like I always like to put it as like Games of Thrones-ish for people to visionize. You know, you have your wall. Well, in order to get, that is your boundary, right? You don't want people coming in, and they're going to be trying to ram the door down. You know what I mean? In the process, but like when that's happening, but your walls are standing firm.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes, after the battle is over with and you've got people hanging around that still want to be there, that are, you know, knocking on that door going, hey, or peeking in the box going, dude, what you doing? Why you have a flap down? I'm not happy. I'm worried. And then, you know what I mean? So you have to remember, with those people behind those big, thick brick concrete walls, they're up there for a purpose. They're healing, or they're repairing, or whatever they're doing. At some point, when they feel safe enough, and if you are not obligated, but allowed to cross, like as I like to say, to cross that boundary and to go into the inner sanctum, they will extend that ladder. And you'll climb that ladder, but don't be afraid when you're climbing up that ladder, right? Because that person might be moving to the next boundary that they have.
Yep.
Not saying that you have to prove to them, but you have to remember that there's things that they need to see in us, that who are willing to stick around, help, be that other person. You have to earn, like, I'll give you that ladder down, because I've said this many a times too. I'll give you that ladder down. You can climb up, but now you're on that walkway. How are you going to get down? You don't have another ladder to get to the other side. You've got to earn that ladder.
Yeah, I've given people a lot of chances. I have been given a lot of chances in my life. I will give people second, third, sometimes fourth chances. But you make a mistake, that's once. You learn from it. You don't make it again.
Yep.
I've made many.
Mistakes are learning opportunities.
And you do it again, that's choice. Do it again, it starts to become a pattern, a repeating cycle. And people, when you set boundaries with them, a lot of people will gaslight you. If you tell them, hey, I've got this issue. Well, I didn't do that. No, you did that. You did this and you did that. And you're crazy. I didn't do that. Yeah, you did.
Oh, yeah, they'll gaslight you like a son.
And if you don't know what gaslighting means, that means essentially them trying to convince you that you are wrong when you know you're right. Trying to convince you that you are crazy. You're not. You know how things happened. You took notes of how things happened. You have voice recordings of how things happened. But yet they will still, you can play it for them.
Oh, and
they'll make something up to make you sound crazy.
Yep. They'll be like, what are you talking about? That's faulty equipment. That didn't happen that way.
Yeah, you're paranoid.
Or you edited it out. You edited this part of the conversation out, don't you remember?
Yep.
I mean, they'll do it that way. And another thing that I like to say about everybody too is because making a mistake is a learning opportunity. It's not a mistake. Just like failing isn't really failing. It's your first attempt in learning something.
You learned how not to do something,
Yep.
and now you get to learn how to do something.
Yeah. So also in this, give yourself some grace, give yourself some mercy. That too.
I have taken people back into my life that I have walked away from. And the reason why I have taken people back is because I have seen that they grow. Maybe they understand where I come from now.
That's okay.
Yeah, and
That's awesome.
And sometimes it takes something drastic, right?
Normally
and then I
that's-
sit down and I go, okay, I have been here, but here lied the issue. I've always loved you. I continued to love you.
Mhm.
And I just had to let you fall and make that mistake to see how important maybe I was in your life. And it hurts. It sucks. It sucks walking away from somebody and watching them go through the worst pain of their life.
Yep.
And wanting to be there for that person, but I'm not going to let down my guard and my boundaries at this point.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But
and rip your family apart to help them. No.
But when it's time, I know, and it's like, okay. And I don't just jump right back into it head over heels. I'm very cautious. I'm very leery.
Mm-hmm.
I can't afford for something to affect my life and to take me down.
Right. It's very easy to say, hey, I'm back. I've changed.
Right. You got to prove it.
Let's see. Show me.
I mean, shit. This is kind of like a certain tarot reading I had Thursday night, isn't it?
A little bit.
See, and I missed it.
Yep.
I missed it.
And I, like when we're talking about you having to give something up and walk away, sometimes you got to give yourself and walk away from a situation because you need to do it mentally to keep yourself safe.
Yep.
And
right?
to grow.
And to grow, right? And to grow in a way that I couldn't, in that atmosphere, I couldn't do it because I was getting like stifled, stifled, but not, or I don't know, not stifled, but like I was getting choked out by a lot of the extra that was going on. And I couldn't understand that until recently. And I think I know why. I had a little birdie come to me in my dream, Raymond, tweet Raymond, and give some words of advice and wisdom. Said, hey, stupid, just reach out. And I did.
Yep.
But he goes, but you need to reach out when you separate yourself from another predicament that you put yourself in that you just didn't, and I didn't understand that yet. And then that was something that I was talking with Keith about, was like, it's like the cobwebs and the fingers are gone.
Yes.
All
of a sudden. All of a sudden.
And it's, I put it to that Avenger scene, right? Where Hawkeye, or Hawkman, yeah, right. Hawkeye is sitting there going to Natasha, going, "Have you ever had anybody just put their fingers inside of your brain and just play around?" Right? And she goes, "No." And that's what Loki did. And I need to I need some time to breathe.
Yeah.
And get my shit up here, but it was like that. It was like somebody was like, "Hey, well, A, B, C, D, E, F, G was not right, but I can give you what you want." And it was like
a mind play.
It is just yeah,
mind fuck.
Yeah,
you were being mind fucked.
Yeah.
You were, and you were being manipulated.
Yes.
Yeah.
People can put that mask on, manipulate you. Okay. This is me. This is who I am. Okay. You get to know them.
Mhm.
And then once they get their hooks into you, they get their fingers into your brain, they know they can take that mask off and be their real person.
Yep.
You know what? I used to fall for that. And I used to keep trying to repair and trying to repair and trying to repair. And just last time I finally had to say, you know what? No, we need to break to figure this out. And then I was the biggest asshole in the world because I was trying to work it out. And I just, okay, hey, all right, see ya. Sorry
Yeah,
about it.
and with I'm gonna stumble all over this. When you start to get those feelings, the best thing you need to do is to take a step back and you need to look at the whole situation and take that break.
Mhm.
Yes.
And you need to see, is there a boundary being crossed that I
Yes.
don't even know that I've put into place?
Mhm.
You know, and I've noticed that as I've gotten older, you know, I've put boundaries into place that I may not realize that I have put into place.
Yep.
And when something starts not to feel right, and I start to get mad and I get irritated and I get frustrated, I have to take a step back and I'm like, okay, what boundaries are being crossed here?
Yeah.
And I'm put in that in my family. I've definitely been put in that, and I won't let go of something because I'm very much so let it go up. And if I can't let it go up and I keep on grabbing it and pulling it back down, it's because I'm trying to process something and I'm trying to understand what boundaries were broken. And I have to understand, for me, I have to understand every single boundary that was broken.
Yes. And if you grew up in a family of red flags, guess what? Red flags are your normal. So you don't see red flags. So, and you get into this relationship because there's red flags everywhere. Hey, it's a circus. No, it's not.
No.
Next
No.
thing you know, you will be even though I set boundaries. Hey, my team is my team. My friends are my friends. My family's my family. I was separated from everybody. Isn't that right, Renee?
That's the reason why I said, "Hey, what are you doing in the fucking box? Get out!"
Yeah, and I appreciate that.
And
That
I,
made
you know,
me think, and I needed to.
you know, and you know, and it was at a time when
I was weak.
you were weak, yes, and then another time that now this is what I talk about, that you have these boundaries, right? You also have to remember those people, if they don't respect your boundaries, they don't respect you.
That.
So
Or they dress
your boundary, they don't respect you. I'm going to say that for somebody in the back of the room. If they don't respect your boundaries, they don't respect you.
And if they won't let you talk, if they constantly say they ask you a question and they start talking over you, answering them within 3 words, they don't want to hear your answer because it's going to be different than what they want you to say. So they overtalk you.
Mm-hmm.
And they keep doing that and doing that. And that is total lack of disrespect. That is total disrespect for you, your opinions, your honesty, your truths. They don't want to hear that. They want to win the argument. See
they
ya.
already have that argument.
Yeah.
Already played out in their head. They already have their rebuttal. They bring up something and they already have their rebuttal. Well, then you don't want to truly know my opinion. You truly don't want to understand, and you truly don't want to fix it. You just want to argue about it, and you want to feel better about yourself that way.
Yeah.
And they dress up your boundaries, right? They put little decorations on your boundaries. They try to cover your boundaries so that they can cross those boundaries, right? And it's absolutely frustrating. And that's what I deal with inside of like my family dynamic right now. There's one individual that doesn't respect the boundaries of walking through my front door. There's one individual that doesn't respect my opinion on things. And I have no problem saying who it is, because I doubt that they're listening and I doubt that they'll ever see this.
Yeah.
But I am not obligated to deal with this person. It is not mandatory for me to deal with this person. I have the choice on whether I want this person to come into my comfort zone. And so far, I've said no. I can't. I cannot do it. I will not do it because this is my safe zone. This is my castle. This is my kingdom, and I am the queen.
Yeah.
You're not going to come in here and you're not going to cause a disruption. You're not going to tell me that I'm wrong. You're not going to tell me that I'm stupid. You're not going to tell me XYZ. You are a little girl. You're going to sit down. You're going to shut the fuck up and you're going to understand your role in everything, right?
Yeah.
And that's like a huge thing for me is the respect. And Nate brought up the whole, well, you got crazy mother-in-laws with these when it comes to their sons. No, you have disrespectful daughter-in-laws.
Get that hit bump going on.
Right. You have disrespectful daughter-in-laws that come in here and think that they're better than you and they don't respect you. And because they're your son, they think that they know better and that they're the queen, blah, 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 and that they're the monarch of this family. No, you sit down. I earned my spot. I would never do that to my mother-in-law. I would never cross those lines. I would never cross those boundaries, and I would never be disrespectful to her.
Right.
Sit down. Learn your role. It is beneath me. You are not my equal. I have been there, done that, child. And you are a child because you are with my son. So forever and a day, my children will be my children and their wives or their husband will be still my child's husband or wife. I will give you the respect as an adult. I really will. Because I respect the fact that you have your family and you have your ways, but this is the way I raised my family. I'm not telling you that you're wrong. But you're not going to come in here and disrupt me. You're not going to disrupt my circle because I'm still raising my family.
Yep.
I may have grandchildren, but I still have 2 children underneath my roof. So there's the boundary. That gate is the boundary. There's a reason why we have a gate and a fence around our house, right? Because that's my boundary.
Yep.
If you cross that gate and you cross that fence, you're in my territory now, and I am a pit bull. I am a Doberman. I am rabid. I will come after you. And because I'm done. I'm done playing nice. I'm done playing the sweet person. No, you've
Did you say rabid or rabbit?
rabid.
Okay. I thought rabbit, and the first thing that came to my mind was the white rabbit on Monty Python's Flying Circus.
Well, because not to bring like a Debbie Downer today, but it is the first year anniversary of Raymond Newsom not being around physically. So like when Nat comes by, that to me, that's Raymond saying "I," because that is like that. It was his rabbit would do that, his metaphysical rabbit. So I thought that was kind of funny.
So it's sorry to go off. I'm not sorry to go off on a rant, but it's a boundary, right? It is, and I'm not obligated to like you. I'm not, because my child is with you. I'm not obligated to go, oh my God, what can I do for you?
No,
How may I please you today? No, I'm not like, no, I'm going to be like, no, you're fucking stupid.
Not every mother-in-law, father-in-law is evil. Sometimes they're just trying to protect their family, protect their children.
Yeah.
Because they see where you're taking that kid. Because we've been through it. We've learned from it. Oh, yeah, no, not red flags. Oh, hey, we need to have talk.
Yep.
Actually, no, we need to have a listen. I'm going to talk and you're going to listen. See, with my kids, it was cop a squat. Is there something you need to tell me? Knowing that I may already know what you need to tell me. And it was, okay, we're going to have a conversation, or we're going to have a listen. Then we'll have a conversation. I let them know ahead of time how it was going to go. I let them make their choice at first. And then this is the way it's going to be.
You know, and here's the thing about, thank you, Lisa. About parents and kids. Just because I'm 48 doesn't mean my mom stops being my mom at 18.
Right.
You know what I mean? My mom stops being my mom when my mom can't be my mom anymore. And some people are like, oh, well, that's really more. Well, it's the truth. When she dies, she just transfers into another being, spiritual energy, that she has now a different way to still be my mother, but she's just going to be my metaphysical mom.
Right.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So like that's why I tell Jacoby all the time. I go, I'm your mom until like I'm not your mom, until like whatever other form I take on afterwards. Like I'm your mom until like forever. Just to
Is my DNA running through you? You're stuck with me.
Exactly.
You know, like, seriously.
You know? Exactly. Yeah. So, which and some people don't understand that either. They're just like, well, how can you do that? You're stunting, or you're stunting their growth, or you're stunting this. I'm like, no, it's not, and I'm not helicoptering either, because that's like, or better yet, you know, because I teach for a living. So, you know, the helicopter mom, and then there's this bullshit of gentle parenting. No. And you know what? And if my biggest boundary is my child, it's a boundary. You can have you know, it doesn't always have to be these things that are like, you know, oh, I cheaters and liars and this and that. Like there's that, but boundaries can also be people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
You know, places, things, you know, inanimate objects. I mean, because you have to remember, boundaries are not just the physical boundary. You should also have a metaphysical boundary.
Mental boundary.
Mental boundary.
Heart boundary.
Yes.
And that's definitely as a parent, your children.
Mm-hmm.
And I will watch my child struggle. I will watch my child. They need to learn, right? And it's the hardest thing to do as a parent. But when, as a parent, and this is something I struggle with having adult children, is when, as a parent, do you step in and say no?
That's the tough one. That's where you have to be like, are you hurting? Like, you have to look at the situation. Are they going to physically hurt themselves? Meaning, right? Or somebody else? Are they just going to, or you know, like, and then if your older children have grandkids, okay, the psychological and all the other crap that goes along with that on your grandchild, because you have to remember, then you have the grandparent aspect of things, right? I don't know grandma, but I tend to think that how I am with my kid, like, watch out. Anybody fucks with my grandkids, I may be in a walker, but I'm going to use that walker and I'm going to beat your ass with it.
Yeah, I still know how to throw that chancla.
I said that hungry. Don't mess with kids. Original. And you know, there comes a time sometimes when you have to sit down with your child and say, hey, I picked up a lot when I was raising you because I didn't know better. I didn't have a father to raise me, so I didn't know how to be a father. You watched me raising you, not knowing how to raise you. Mm-hmm. You are making some repeating cycles that I started. Mm-hmm. And maybe we need to work on this a little bit. I'm bringing this to your attention so you can start working on this now instead of later.
Yep.
30 years later. So just here's a hint. Here's a seed. Maybe handle it this way.
I always like to tell my kids, oh, you're going to marry your mother. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I mean,
like
for boy moms, it does happen, and you know what? And for girl dads, I see a lot of Kelly. Not in my biological father, but my father, the man that I call my father, that after he passed away and then did what he did in the afterlife and has come back and we've had conversations and he goes, hey, I was this way because I was just an asshole and I'm sorry for being that way. And so one night it was, hey, don't be so hard on Kelly. Well, he's acting like you in this situation. But take a step back, breathe, look past this part and you see that's how I am now. So then
Yeah.
I go, shit, he's the good parts of my father that I didn't get to see.
Yeah.
Alcohol and everything else that was going on.
Yeah. My mom, if I messed up as a kid, first she would call me my sister's name, and then finally Keith Bradley. Because the bridge hit.
You got to go down. You got to go down the list of kids too when you have
Bradley, whoever you are, wait till your father gets home. And he
number 13. I see you. I used to do numbers.
And she'd tell him what happened, expecting him to rip my ass apart, paddle my butt, and he'd say, sit down. And he would say, okay, you did this. This is why this is wrong. The right way to do it would have been this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, he's worked a 16-hour day, hit the bar, come home. I have to help him get his boots off. Okay. But he would do this drunk or sober. He would explain to me why something was wrong, why we should have done it a different way or used different words.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. His dad would tie him to a clothesline and whip him. All the children.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he ended that cycle. I've ended cycles. I pray my kids end cycles. I want them to learn.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to learn from me, from others.
Yep.
I want them to have everything that I don't.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what we're supposed to want. We want the best. We want better for them.
Yeah.
We don't want what we had, or in some cases, I know some people, their kids are worse than what they were, and that's that's why I say, certain like that. This is like the big, like, in word, like, curse breaker or breaking the chains or breaking the cycle. Cause that's like the cool thing, like right now, to be that.
Yeah.
If you actually break that cycle, you know when that cycle is broken. You feel it, because what happens is you have to remember that cycle. That I tend to tell a lot of people that it's a chain. So here's me, here's my mom, here's my grandma, here's my great grandma, here's my great great grandma, my great great grandma. So whoever it started at, when you break that cycle, they all are free. They all are at peace, and that's including yourself. And that cycle is broken, so you can't. There's no way in hell that chain can reattach to that next generation.
Right, and blood curses are the same way. Once you break that blood curse, everybody in the future is free, and everybody from the past is released.
But make sure you don't start a new one.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
On that note, give me a tally mark. I'll be right back.
I always say that you see it, not necessarily you start to break the chain, and then your children come along, and it's in that generation next, right? So we have a chain in my family, and because of the way I handled that chain, because it did happen to me, I couldn't break that. But what I'm hoping to do is to break that for my children's children, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to see my children go through the same pain that I did. So therefore, I talked about it. We worked through it as a family. We approach it as a family. And therefore, hopefully with this generation, because it's already happened to me, right? And it's already happened to my kids.
Yeah.
Hopefully with my grandkids, I will get to see every single one of my grandkids grow up instead of, having a funeral.
Yeah.
And that's huge for me, that's a boundary for me, right? That's an obligation I'm willing to take on. And with family, it's so hard. It is so hard, that those boundary lines. Living examples is like the best way that I can give my children, of the boundaries. Like, listen, Therese is this way. Do you really want that? I kept you away from her until you guys were older and you guys thought I was crazy. And now you see it. Now you know why that boundary was put there. And I allowed her to cross over that, or not cross over that boundary, but I allowed her back into my life because I thought maybe she had learned a lesson and she didn't. Now watch this, kids. This is how you do this. Snip. She's gone.
Yeah.
I don't want her to have anything to do with my grandchildren. I don't want her to have anything to do with my children. And now my children have their eyes open and they have that boundary set. And they're like, no, it's not going to happen with her either. I'm not going to allow her to come in and to wreck our family the way that she wrecked you, Mom. So, and wrecked our family, like my kids and me. So unfortunately, lessons have to be learned. Boundaries though, seriously find people to help you put up those boundaries and to keep you in check. Right? So like with what happened the past couple of weeks with you, Renee, like I know your boundaries. You don't have to tell me your boundaries. I'm not going to cross those boundaries. But when I see somebody across those boundaries, like that wall, like on Game of Thrones, I'm going to be that archer up on top and I'm going to shoot them down. And I'm going to be like, no, this is wrong. And I support Renee. And this is Renee's boundary. And you've done cross this boundary. And I'm not going to have that because I love her and I respect her. And I'm not going to let you drag her down. So I'm going to go to you and I'm going to be what? I'm going to be honest. I don't like this. And Keith was the same way. I don't like this. This is not right. We're going to put an end to it. Like,
I can be a white rabbit if I need to, just saying.
And find that family, find that team of people that are going to be willing to help you. I always say it's like Alcoholic Anonymous, right? You have your sponsor, right? You have your sponsor and you have your people that are there to support you. So if I see somebody walking into that bar and they're part of my Alcohol Anonymous, I'm going to go over there and I'm going to be like, hey, listen, let's go get a cup of coffee. Let's talk about what's wrong. Let's do this. And people need that support in helping keep their boundaries. That your team. Your team.
Yeah. Just a quick example of that. When I was with my last 9-month lesson, I was working on quitting smoking. And instead of when I get one out and go to light it, hey, can you wait 5 minutes? That would be helping me extend, the time between cigarettes instead of, I thought you were quitting. Why are you like that? I thought you were quitting. And just bitch and bitch and bitch and bitch. Okay, you know what?
Poke, 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 poke.
I'm a Scorpio. I'm going to have 2. Okay? Well, as you can see, I haven't quit smoking yet, but it's that kind of example. If your partner wants to quit smoking, quit drinking, be supportive, help them.
Don't bring it home.
Yeah. Ask them, hey, can you wait 20 minutes to have that? If you tell them, no, I'm in the head, I need this now. I'll go outside. Okay, go take your 10, 15 minutes. Be supportive of each other, not combative.
Jesse, with my whole diet, I have no reason to have a fatty liver, right? And I'm sitting here going, why do I have a fatty liver? And I do the research and it says, okay, the Mediterranean diet is going to be what's best for you. And instead of him bringing home, XYZ to eat, he's like, hey, you know what? I'm going to hop on board with you and I'm going to do this with you. We will accomplish this together as a family. And my health is a boundary for me because I've been sick for so long and I just want to be healthy. Yeah. And I'm going to get there. I'm going to hit that goal, right? One way or another. I don't know how much more I'm going to have to go through to get healthy. But Jesse on the back end is the one pushing me, is the one supporting me. And he's not going to, he will do his damnedest to make sure that I don't cross that boundary. And if I slip up and I cross that boundary I've set for myself, he's going to gently reel me back in. He's not going to rip my ass. He's not going to downgrade me. He's going to help pull me back.
Hey, why don't we have this for supper?
Yeah. And I'm telling you, like, I mean, he sat here and he did a whole meal plan. He bought everything, and that's the meals that we had. You know, and that's something that I have sacrificed in my life. Is my personal boundaries with myself. My last marriage, there was no religion allowed in the house. There was no this allowed in the house. There was no that. And here I am. I'm adjusting myself, and I'm uncomfortable with who I am. You know, I can't sit here and I can't get the kids baptized. I can't get, you know, that confirmed. I can't go to church because I fought too many religious wars and blah, 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 blah. And I'm not going to have that shit in my house. And I sat there and I muffled myself. Right. And I muffled myself and I became somebody I did not want to become. And I really hit rock bottom. And I kept on sacrificing and thinking that maybe, you know, this person's going to be the best choice for me. This person, this person, that. And what ended up happening? I lost myself. I lost myself completely. And losing myself was not a good feeling. So Don't ever lose yourself into somebody else's way. You know, and that's a boundary. Like it's a boundary. I mean, I went through hell in that marriage. I really did. I didn't have running water for 6 months, because he decided to cross more boundaries.
Right.
And cross more boundaries and cross more boundaries. And finally he's like, oh, screw it. I'm just going to do what I want then. I never want that to happen again. And I never want anybody to go through that. I mean, yeah, we all go through that. We all hit that rock bottom. And if you have that person that's just consistently crossing that boundary, you just need to let them go.
Yeah. Yep. And you can have multiple rock bottoms.
Mm-hmm.
You can. Just like you can have multiple dark nights of the soul.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a one and done.
Mm-hmm. That's how you grow.
Yep. If you hit rock bottom and you come out of it, be proud of yourself. But just know that another situation in the future may teach you there was still something you needed to see and look at, and you might get put right back on them rocks. Right back in that dark night of the soul. Only this time, you've learned how to navigate through it and come out of it a little quicker. It's not as bad. And then the next one. Okay, this is happening. This is what I did last time. Okay, I'm going to be all right because I can do this, this, and this. You learn as you go.
You're absolutely right. And we're in Lenten season, right? So we're in this whole, you give up something and you learn from it and you grow, right? And I believe that everybody should do Lent, not even just Catholics. Like you should just take that time and you should really just say, you know what, I am tired of being angry and I'm just going to let it go and I'm going to work on it. Right.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with my 14-year-old, soon to be 15-year-old. And I said, you know, even Jesus went through the dark night of the soul.
I mean,
Jesus had temptations.
Jesus walked through hell too.
Yes.
Right.
An enlightened master walked through hell.
Mm-hmm. So here we have Jesus. He's fighting the temptations. He's in the desert. He's fasting and everything is thrown out. I can give you all of this. I can do this for you. Well, just do this, right? And that was seriously the dark night of the soul when and especially before he knew he was going to be what? Persecuted. He went through that. And what did he do? He just said, you know, God, if this is Father, if this is what you want me to go through, and this is, XYZ, I will do this for you for the betterment of everybody, right? And that was a huge dark night of the soul. He cried, he went through hell. And then what happens is he gets persecuted, right? And then, like Renee just said, instead of just ascending, he's like, no, my obligation and my duty is to go through hell to free those people, right? To free the Jews, where I've got to go through hell. And going through that dark night of the soul is something that I think everybody goes through. And the dark night of the soul is where you find where your hard boundaries are.
Yep. Yeah. I sat on the couch for 6 months. I was functional. I went to work. I came home. But I sat on the couch for literally 6 months. I sat on the couch waiting by this for someone to message or call because they said they would. Did they? No. But that gave me the strength to finally say, okay, it's time to stand up. And I did. I stood up off the couch. I told myself that, and I stood up off the couch. And I if I remember right, I started cleaning, dusting, vacuuming, dishes, laundry, because I was way behind on that stuff. And that's okay. But a week later, this person calls and says, hey, I want to come home. They're crying on the phone. And I had the strength to say, no. I've been waiting on you for 6 months just for a text message or a phone call that you kept promising.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells me exactly where you are right now. You want to come home because you're having problems, not because you want to come back home to me. There's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And I went through this in my head. I didn't say it out loud, but I just said, no. And I hung the phone up. And it was probably one of the best things I ever did for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
For both of us.
My dark night of the soul, I laid on the floor and screamed. I screamed.
I mean,
and
that happens sometimes.
Yeah. I go out to the lake and I just let it out. I don't care who's looking.
Sometimes.
What you looking at?
I put the TV on for Abby, and I walked into the bedroom. I shut the door, and I give Jesse so much credit.
And that's why I said you had to weed out the bullshit to get what you wanted. When people say they have a type.
What does bullshit grow? New strong grass.
New flowers, right?
On your side of the fence.
Mm-hmm. And your grass becomes greener than the neighbors, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I give Jesse credit because I was just laying there fucking screaming and crying, and he didn't try to fix it. He just sat there and held me.
Yeah, because it's not his job. It's not his job to repair it. That's your
sat with you.
But people can go through dark nights of the soul with people, either in tow, meaning in tandem, walking through it together, because they are choosing to stand by you and help you and support you, which is a good thing to do, but they also know that at some point, may it be, use Keith, for example, walk him down the road to his cave. I know I can't go in that cave because he's got to do the heavy lifting. He's got to do the picking up. He's got to put down. He's got to look at it. He's got to decipher it. He's got to pick it apart, figure out, okay, this is a good part I keep. This is shit. I'm throwing it out. And then, 3 days.
You're waiting for him.
3 days. I'm knocking on the door going, am I still here? Are you good? Or do you need another 3 days? I give him just like Jesus, because he is short Jesus. Okay, that is a nickname.
But there's a difference between me and Jesus. I ain't coming back.
No, exactly. You're not coming back. But I'll give him that 3 days.
Yeah, she will.
Because that's what I do. Jesus rose on the third day. So I just go, hey, are you good? If you're not, okay, you need a few more days. All right, just know I'm outside. I got your Budweiser and I got your cigarette when you're ready.
Right.
And that's how I leave it.
And she
So-
knows the code. I'll
Yeah.
say I'm fine
Fine.
or I'm good.
Yeah. And when he says I'm fine, he's not good.
No. But if I say I'm good, she knows
Mhm.
I'm having issues. I'm just taking some time to work through them, but I'm
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
But if I say I'm fine, no, I'm fucked up in the head. And
Frantic,
I'm gonna-
insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
yes, I'm going to sit in my head until I get this shit figured out. If
That's
I need advice, I will reach out.
Yep.
If I need someone to vent to, I will reach out. If I need somebody to just listen,
Mm-hmm.
I will reach out. Or if I need advice, I will reach out. However, I may make that intention, hey, I need some advice.
Mhm.
Or I just need somebody to listen.
Yep.
And when we call, we know what's going on. We know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's important to set the intention with whoever you're talking to, your brother, your sister, your spouse, your uncle, whoever it is. I don't care. It's important to set that intention. Hey, I just need somebody to listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I need some advice. Because if that person just needs somebody to listen to them so that they can set their boundaries,
Yep.
to negate the expected obligations so they can set their needed boundaries, cool. But set that intention at the beginning of that conversation.
Mhm.
That will save a whole lot of confusion and help everybody involved.
And also too, just gonna pull this out of my metaphysical toolbox.
Words are hard.
Blah, 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 blah. All right, that a wise teacher gave me. When they're talking, you can listen, but listen to listen, not listen to verbalize. That's
Listen.
number one.
Listen to understand
Yep.
how where they are.
Mm-hmm. That's number one. Number two, while you're listening, don't absorb it because they could be projecting their shit onto you. So therefore, what is that saying? Misery likes company.
Word of the empath: observe, don't absorb.
Exactly. So observe the conversation, don't absorb it. And that's where a lot of people gets a tangly, swampy mess.
Yeah,
Right.
there's a
And
mess.
people come out, kind of wrap around you, and you're like, hey, you know what? I feel for you, and I understand what the fuck's going on, what that was wrong, what happened, whatever it was wrong. And I get it. Like, okay, but don't stay stagnant with that person, because if you stay stagnant with that person, their shit becomes your shit. Then you're going, wait a minute. Is
And-
that their shit, or is that something I need to work on? And I
And-
can't tell the difference between their shit and my shit.
That, and you didn't go through their shit, so you don't have a decent way of healing their shit, which they have a decent way of healing their shit. So you're stuck with your shit until you can get it worked out somehow. Grounding, salt bath, egg cleanse, whatever. But you got to realize.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and that's when other, we'll talk about metaphysical stuff happens too. Like things start to form, emotional attachments. That is a thing. Attachments start to happen. You can, people that say that, oh, that shit ain't real. No, it is real. You can make your own fucking attachment. You can. It happens.
I did it. I made my
Poltergeist.
own going.
Poltergeist is the perfect.
Yeah.
You create your own little demon.
Yep.
You have so much negativity and you have so much pent up frustration, and I know what I'm capable of, so I have to let it go.
Mhm.
I have to let it go. I can't, because I know that I can cause more damage holding it in and not letting it go than and words. And that's another boundary I've set with myself. That's another boundary. I can't let somebody get to me to the point where I start forming things. I can't do that. I
Because-
cannot.
We know that we have evolved enough, we have learned enough that if we allow ourselves to make something, it is going to be very difficult to take back out.
Mm-hmm.
We have the strength and the knowledge to do that. But we also have the strength and the knowledge to take that entity back out. But it's going to be more difficult.
Yeah. 100%.
So yeah, we got to be kind of cautious.
Yeah.
I was going to say that I approach everything with caution, and I approach everything with a 360 view.
Yes.
I approach things like that because I know how angry. I may seem like a happy going person, but I know how angry I am. I really do. I know how mean I can be, and I've worked. My ex-husband says I have a silver tongue. If I really wanted to unleash, I would unleash. But I've set that boundary with myself that I don't want to be that person unless it's absolutely necessary.
Nah.
And it's where, I let go and give it up. I just, until it gets to a point where it's okay, you've definitely you've stepped, and I'm going to step up now.
Yep. I mean, that's also a thing that you have to remember in this time of things that can be formed in these conversations while you're observing. And you're not meaning to absorb, but it happens. Shit happens. It happens to us.
Yep.
It happens to us. Just because we say, hey, don't do this. Shit, it happens to us. That's why it's important to keep yourself clean, and it's important to keep your house clean.
Yeah, it is.
Very important. Very important when it comes to that shit.
We need to learn when we drop our boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a TBI, and if somebody barks at me, I'm not expecting it. It throws me into fight or flight.
Sirens in the background.
Okay. It throws me into fight or flight.
Yeah.
And then TBI stops my brain from working through that issue. I freeze. I can't think about how to get out of that situation. However, I have learned how to get out of that situation.
Mm-hmm.
All I got to do is turn around and walk off.
Yep. Something simple as that.
I need a minute. I'll say, I need a minute, and I will go for a walk. At work, yep. I need a minute. I'll go for a walk.
I'm not. Yeah, I get that, Keith. I get that. And that's being abused also, right?
TBI, ADHD, all the other letter things that I got going on. I got 19 browser tabs open right now in my mind.
He has no idea where Chris Stapleton is playing from. I'm going to tell you that right now.
How the hell did you know Chris Stapleton? Because you drink and know things.
I drink and I know things.
White horse.
White horse, and there's a white horse in that yard. See, for me and Keith, now I have I'll either use my YouTube music or I'll use my Spotify, and I'll just I just hit random and it goes through shit. If White Horse comes on, I text him and I screenshot the song and go, "You good?"
Yep.
Right? Okay. Because that's just that's okay. That's Keith reaching out.
Yep.
So that's it.
And I may not even realize that I'm having issues until she does that, and then I sit back and I look I'm like, son of a bitch. So it's appreciated.
Yep. See, but that's where I know where my boundaries are with Keith. And that's what happens over time when you have those good nuggets of people. You have your tight, close circle, and then you have your circle, and then you have your really tight, close circle.
We are the 3-piece chicken nugget order.
You know what I saw the other day? And I think about that. Totally digress this shit. And my thing now will be because you said that.
I had to say it.
On Valentine's Day, they had this little basket at Target, and they had these emotional support in. So there were 4 nuggets in a basket with ketchup, support emotional support nuggets. And I almost bought it because I thought it was great. Like, you know, like it'd have avocado and like tacos. You know, it would have like chocolate and marshmallow. Like it was cute. My God, you said the 3 nuggets, and I'm like, oh, shit. See, I should have bought it and just took a nugget out.
We ain't musketeers. We're nuggets.
I hate musketeers. That new
We ain't chicken.
You know, and that's why it's a good thing that you know each other's boundaries. It's
Yes.
like that should be like, as you're getting to know somebody, say, hey, you know, like I have no problem you calling me and talking to me, right? But you're not going to call me at 9:30 at night and then trauma dump all over me and then expect for me to go to bed. You know, like that's where you've got to, like, you know, using that as a boundary. There's other boundaries. I mean, like, you know what I mean? I won't take somebody's shit that thinks that their shit doesn't stink and thinks that they're better than me at doing a job that I do pretty damn good at. So, you know, and want to call me out on some stupid shit. I'm not going to have it.
Yep.
Sorry. Not going to have it.
Yeah. If you call me, I go to bed at 10. So if you send me a message, whether it's a meme or a video to watch or whatever at 12:30 a.m., you better believe when I get up at 4:30 in the morning, I'm going to message you back.
Asshole. See, like, I don't do that. I don't. I'm sleeping.
I sent a whole bunch of like reels out the other day, and like for some reason they all sent at like the worst freaking time. I'm like, what? I sent that hours ago. Like, what?
But there's see, like, now here's the thing. It's been a thing.
That's universe stepping in.
It's been a thing.
I'm like,
FB's been a little crazy.
Messengers.
Chat that I sent that 4 days ago.
When you sent that text going, is, you know, your messenger crazy? Yeah. And I just do what I normally do when it starts to get dumb. Like, I just uninstall it and then reinstall it. Like, I might have to do that here with my Facebook, because like I've noticed if I go on other people's shows and share other people's shows out, which I do other than certain shows, because I have multitude of many friends that do things. So, and I try to be like Raymond and support everybody. I've noticed, I don't know if it's because of some other shit, I have a really hard time doing anything anymore on this when it has to do with FB. So I don't know if FB is being dumb or it's what I do.
Well, FB does social experiments.
Mm-hmm.
They will take away something or move something so you can't find it to see how you react. Other times we have solar flares that interact with something. We just had a solar flare hit.
Yep.
We've had several actually. Yesterday, I'm waiting for the news to come out. I was out in the garden on my hands and knees with my hand on a tree stump, and all of a sudden that tree started vibrating, and then the ground started vibrating. Not like that.
Sorry.
Had you do that again?
But we had a little earthquake right here in Wymore or wherever, but I felt it. It lasted for about 5 minutes
going on in
and then it just stopped. But so far, I haven't seen any information about an earthquake happening. Again, we've had 3 or 4 of them recently out east. But we have little ones here all the time. We are on our fault line. But those little ones, I used to think that the little ones would release pressure. I've done some homework listening to Stephen Burns. No, sometimes that's the precursor to something bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And we had an earthquake, a year or 2 ago? I had repaired all the cracks in my foundation in my basement, and we had an earthquake, and it actually broke those cracks back out. So I got more work to do. Oh well, different story. But don't think that it can't happen to you. And sometimes earthquakes are when somebody expects you to have an obligation to them and not be able to set the boundary that you need to. And when you do, you will be the devil. That's okay.
Somebody's got to be the villain in somebody's story, and I'm okay with that. If I have to play that,
yeah,
I'll play
I'm the
it.
villain in a lot of people's stories, and I'm okay with that.
Same.
If anybody wants to know why something happened, what happened to this, what
Get a hold of me. I'll
ask
tell you.
me.
Call me, text me, get a hold of me. Ask me. I'll tell you why.
Don't assume. Yes, there is another person living in my home, but don't assume what that is about.
With what you, in reference to what you just said, with having them have expectations and expecting the obligation and stuff like that, if they can't give it to you back, and they can't give that respect back, and they can't give the time of day back, but they expect you to do this, and this, yet they're not willing to do it themselves
Yeah.
on you.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's and that's the theme of the show, right? If somebody can't reciprocate back and somebody can't respect you back and understand your lines and your obligations and your boundaries, and they can't I'm going to go do this, and this, but you know what? You're not allowed to do it. You're not allowed to have your own life. You're not allowed to do this because I expect you to do this, and this.
Yeah. Why is your phone buzzing? Why is your phone vibrating? As you have it turned over on the couch charging. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's a BOGO offer from Casey's for a free pizza. Did we find out? Sure shit. It was a free buy one, get one free Casey's pizza offer. She got so mad she picked up her stuff, her tablet that she was on while we were supposed to be watching a movie. I can't be on my phone. Walked in the bedroom, slammed the door, threw the tablet. Yeah, we need a break.
You know what, Jesse? I ask him only because I'm like, oh my God, he's on Marketplace. Oh no, I know he's on Amazon. Like, oh, like what are you doing now? What you doing? What do you got up your sleeve? What are you looking at buying?
Or ordering 250 plus stickers for his helmet.
Yes.
See, I don't even live there, and I know what the man does.
All of a sudden, I get my neighbor and I were talking about this. I'm like, I'm going to pull his Amazon privilege real fast. I'm going to change the password, but then I'd have to change the password to his email. All of a sudden I have 40,000 plastic clips. Why do we need these plastic clips? What are these for? Oh, I forgot I ordered those.
They're on reorder every 45 days.
Wait till he orders the googly eyes for all the rocks outside. 2 on each.
Shh. He's watching.
Ideas.
Shh.
I got you, buddy.
Don't give him any ideas.
You can have a lot of pet rocks.
I'm waiting for him to put googly eyes on the back of his hard hat.
I'm surprised he hasn't.
Right?
Super glue sunglasses on him.
No, his text message will go off and I'll be like, work? I don't even assume. I give him shit or or is that Amazon order coming in?
Yeah.
Is that UPS? Is that FedEx?
See, you just have to worry about him having issues and relationships with box stores.
FedEx.
And FedEx and, Amazon and
Well, shit, no, he has to worry about me. He's never home. I know them by name now. I'm like, hey, Manny, what's up? And he's like, what's up, Janice? And I'm like, looking good today. I know when we have it. I now know when we have a different driver. And then I go complain to the other driver that he didn't put it in the box right. Like,
The ear just went off. Even they laughed.
Oh God. Oh.
it's bad. It's bad. I expect the mailman to know my name, but the UPS, okay, I swear, Amazon comes through with their delivery and they stop here and they stop next door. Like it's just boom, boom. And then you see him turn around. You don't see him go anywhere else, hardly ever. It's just my house and next door, my house and next door. And now we've gotten the same Amazon driver, I don't know how many times. And they're like, see you tomorrow. And I'm like, see ya. You have a good day. Yeah. Yeah. It's bad. It's bad when you start to know the Amazon drivers' names. And they change all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, like his phone goes off and I'm like, all of a sudden, you know, our Alexa will go off and it'll have the ding, you have a new alert. And I'm like, what do you get now? What does he have on the saved list that just went on for sale? Hurry up, delete. Hurry up, delete.
And why isn't any of this shit ever for me?
See, I can't even say that because you know, my hair shampoo and stuff like that comes through the mail. So like, yeah, some of it's for me, but the grandchildren, it's bad. Okay, it's bad.
See,
it's just bad.
Hopefully soon I'm going to be having a lot of Amazon packages come through. Reason being, I picked up a 55-gallon aquarium on a garage sale for $5.
Be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, that's been sitting on that porch for a very long time.
It has been, but it's about time.
Mm-hmm.
And it needs a filter and gravel and a heater and, you know, light and hood and all this stuff. One thing at a time. But my aquariums, those were my therapy. I could sit in front of that aquarium and watch my fish and just zen, let the mind go. And that was kind of my meditation. I didn't realize it at the time, but that was my meditation. And it's time. I can build a stand. I've got 4x4s and 2x4s and plywood in the garage, leftover pieces of parts that I can use.
That's all those things are made out of.
It's time. Yeah, it's time. I just got verified. It's time. I want to get some angels and some discus and some coolie loaches and some.
Well, and
what are those called? You can see them. Little gray catfish. Anyway.
Channel cat? No, that's channel cat. It's what you eat. Sorry.
Corridors. There's many different species in that family, but they're spotted and peppered and silver and whatnot. And they get about 2.5 inches long. But it's time. And in the future, I've always wanted a big saltwater aquarium with none but seahorses. I've had seahorses in the past and bred them. And I want another saltwater aquarium. And when it's time, I'll do it. But boundaries, not yet. Not yet. I expect me to just be able to snap my fingers. Expected obligations. You need a fish tank. Well, boundaries, my financial situation. It's going to have to wait a little bit.
I mean, and the fact that you want that, I mean, because I guess kind of addressing kind of like Dumbo, elephant in the room, you know, for prime example, you're getting this, you have this 55-gallon fish tank. If you're in the mood of just kind of like, and need it kind of to sit there and it's a Monday night and you need that so you don't go out and be a serial killer and murder somebody, you don't have to worry about having the obligations of having to have a show.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not knocking any network, not knocking anything, just saying you just don't have that obligation anymore. You have the freedom to walk away and be like, hey, you know what? I don't want to do a show tonight.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah. If we're having mental issues or heart issues or work issues or life issues or family issues, we don't have to go on. Since we don't have a network anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this is our own choice for our own reasons. We all have
reasons, yeah.
Some new directions that we want to try to go to.
No ill will. I'm going to say this again. No fucking ill will.
And we wish the best.
Yeah. Absolutely. We will still share their shows out. We will still support them.
Yep.
We wish them well.
Yeah.
We
open the door for someone else because I feel like there's somebody that's going to be coming, and it's here you go.
Yep. And it may be the greatest show since sliced bread, and if so, yay! Congratulations.
Awesome
for them. Exactly.
Awesome.
You know, but when it's time to move, and you'll feel it for a while.
Seasons are not just time outside your window. Seasons are your time.
And the astrology right now is telling people it's time to move.
It's like I had the farmhouse, I had the land, I had the friends, I had the gathering, but I had to move.
Yep.
And did they like it? No. A lot of them stopped talking to me. A lot of them stopped doing XYZ, but I needed to do this for myself. And it wasn't because I hated anybody. It wasn't because of this or that. It was just time, obviously. Did I want to give it all up? No, you don't ever want to give up all of that, right?
Yep.
But it was time for somebody else.
Yeah.
It's just time. And right, like I don't wish ill upon anybody. I want to see everybody be successful. I want to see, hopefully, it grow. I want to see people grow. I want to see things. I want the best for everybody.
Yep. I want the best for everybody. I want everybody happy. I want everybody healthy. I want everybody mentally okay. I want them to be their authentic self on camera and off.
Yep.
Successful and fulfilled, right? Like that's so.
Speaking of being successful, at 8 p.m. Central, Cindy Waghorn is going to be having her show on the RNN network. It is becoming university aligned. Look at me. I knew the name.
You don't have to tell you. I'm so proud.
Look at me go. I made a note.
Phenomenal show. Phenomenal show.
Yeah, she does sound bowl healings, and she's a very talented and knowledgeable person. So I'm probably going to hop on there after we get off of here. And let's do her a favor and hop off of here. And that way we're not interfering with their watchers.
Obviously, yep, that's no problem.
And thank you, everybody. And thank you, Jan and Renee, for joining me and everybody else out there. We just need to merge our hearts sometimes.
We need to learn ourselves. We need to learn our boundaries. We need to learn how to set them.
Learn ourselves. That right there. Thank you. Thank you for those words.
And while you're learning to be yourself and becoming yourself, be good to yourself.
And did you notice what I did earlier? I got a cigarette out.
Yeah, and you didn't smoke it.
Talking about, hey, can you just wait 5 minutes? Yeah. I set them down. Didn't even think about it. I waited 5 minutes. Then I picked them back up. It's just that extra boost.
Mm-hmm.
So be supportive of your partner, of your daughter, of your son, of your uncle, of your aunt, of your grandmother, your grandfather.
Even if you don't agree, be supportive.
Yep.
As much as you can be.
Mm-hmm.
I can support at a distance.
Yes. Yep. So
I don't have to pull up my chair.
What's that?
I said, you don't always have to pull up a chair.
No.
No. You can pull up a chair at a different table, most definitely. You don't have to be at mine.
So on that note, I'm going to hit the 1-minute video to exit out of here. And stick around for just a minute. We'll see everybody next Monday. Me and Joni will be discussing what the is going on up there and how it's affecting us here. And it could get a little wild, just saying, but be patient. We're going to be okay. So on that note, good night, everybody.
Love you guys where you're at.
Yep.
Hello and welcome to the Otter's Den. Grab your favorite beverage and snacks, grab a seat, and delve into the known and the unknown. We have shows every other Monday and every other Monday. Let me explain. One Monday, Joni and I discuss the current astrology, how it affects us both on personal, countrywide, and global scales, and then how to navigate through it all to improve our overall quality of life. The next Monday, Jan and Renee join me as we discuss, well, everything. This includes the paranormal, cryptids, psychic abilities, hauntings, attachment, possessions, aliens, abductions, self-help, life coaching, mental health, personal health, and the list goes on. Thank you in advance for joining us. Now it's time to sit back and enjoy.